Tonight, this 10-year-old boy is about to go through something many of us could never imagine. 8 months of isolation, closed into the same room at the same hospital, await little Joshua Osborne.
His parents hope it can bring an end to his 10-year struggle with a rare disease. NBC15's Chris Woodard is here with their story.
Ellie, after years of waiting and hoping, the Osbornes are getting their shot. In this special assignment, photojournalist Kurt Lenz and I take a look at the courage of this tough young boy.
Since birth, life has been a little different for Joshua Osborne.
You think you're coming home from the hospital with a healthy baby boy, and then to find out, something different was a shock.
Joshua was born without an immune system. He suffers from SCID ADA, a 1 in a million disease.
Did I want to go down this road? Not necessarily, but when I put it in perspective of what other families deal with, I do feel blessed that it hasn't been worse.
SCID is more commonly known as bubble boy disease.
David, whose body lacked disease-fighting antibodies, had lived...
Named after David Vetter, a boy from Texas who spent all but the last few days of his 12-year life in a germ-free bubble while doctors looked for a cure.
See, I remember this part from the instructions now.
Things have changed a lot since then.
But I definitely didn't start understanding right away.
We've always probably been a little more cautious than the average parent, but not a lot.
Almost everybody that asks me says, does he live in a bubble? If they don't know him, they still wonder.
Now 10 years old, Joshua has been through a lot, including a failed bone marrow transplant and a week in intensive care at 3 years old that almost ended his life.
It's a no contest. That was definitely the hardest time with him.
Since then, he's had regular trips to Duke Children's Hospital in North Carolina, monthly IVs, and weekly shots in his legs, all to basically give him a temporary immune system.
It's sort of painful.
But for this little fighter, there is new hope.
It was a relief to know that we were going, but it's going to be a busy week to get it all done.
Earlier this week, Joshua's parents got word he'll be the 7th child selected to participate in a new gene therapy trial at Duke Medical Center. The family will relocate to the hospital, where Joshua will be forced to isolate himself in a hospital room for anywhere between 3 and 8 months. They leave Sunday.
It was an intimidating thought with him not being able to leave that room.
To know that he could possibly just be completely healed and not have to have medicines anymore, it's worth it.
The most simplified explanation is that his own marrow was taken out, the defect with the immune system is fixed, and they put it back in.
I know it's not going to be dangerous, but there are risks. I heard, but I'm not really afraid of that now.
For Mom and Dad, it means picking up and leaving, all while Julie is pregnant again. They're expecting a son who they just found out will be born with the same disease.
When I told him that his brother was going to have the same condition as he did, he just smiled and he said, well, I'm okay.
I think God gives us what we can handle, and there's purpose.
So I think the problem is that piece.
It is a life filled with question that may finally have an answer, but it will take a few months of isolation to find out.
I'm not really afraid of that now.
Pretty strong guy, huh?
Yeah.
You feel like this has made you stronger?
Mm-hmm.
If you want to follow along on Josh's journey, his dad has created a webpage that Josh himself will be updating whenever he can. To check it out, just head to our web channel and click on news links.
What a great family. Chris, thank you. And Clark says the best thing that's come out of Josh's sickness is newborn testing. In January of 2008, Wisconsin became the first state to begin testing newborns for the disease, which Clark says increases the survival rate from 50% to close to 100%. The Osbornes were very active in lobbying for that testing and still hope all states will jump on board.